Good morning, beloveds. We're going to try this and see how this works. Which the reason I'm running late today is because at 7 a.m. I started to see spots. And that generally the kinds of spots that I was seeing are mean that I'm going to have a migraine. And then I got the full on aura, and it only lasted about 20, 23, 25 minutes. Which normally that's my aura. It lasts about 30 minutes. And generally, I can head off the worst of the pain if I can take something right after I start to see the aura. And I wasn't home. I'd gone to the gym. Now, my trainer was very kind and gave me to Advil. And because I think that this is partly sinus and weather related, when I got home, um, I did take the quercetin to see, hopefully. I'm in the ice pick stage right now. So I have nausea and it's like being stabbed through my head and my eye with an ice pick. So migraines are what I don't, I'm functional with a migraine, but I think a lot slower, which is very frustrating for me. So I didn't want to not do this, but I wanted to give you a heads up. If I'm a little odd, this is why I have a migraine and I'm in the active stages of it. So, um, but we'll see. Uh, my husband burned his bagel today, and I was in the shower when he burned it. He's like, "How can you smell the burned bagel all the way, on this side of the house?" Because when I have a migraine, all of my senses go to 11, all of them. So I'm light sensitive and sound sensitive and touch sensitive, and which I'm normally that way anyway, but it's just like, instead of running on a 10, I'm running like an 11 and a half. So I can smell the burned bagel. All right. Um, we have one more day. Now I've got to figure out how I'm going to do February 29th because I haven't done it. And I want to make sure that I have it. But I may do that on the Running Rev Ryan Facebook page instead of on this one. Um, and then, so on Friday, we will start a new book. And that's going to be Beyond Appearances, which is a collection of writings from ministers and practitioners rather than just Ernest Holmes. So we will see what that was like. It was suggested by Reverend Jesse. All right, it is March 31st. Our title is I am enriched by the abundance of God. Our quote is going to be, oh, this is funny. Jesse quoted Malachi last night, and we're doing Malachi today. So, prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open you the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it. That is Malachi 3:10. What a promise this is. As though the divine were issuing a challenge to the human and saying, perhaps things are better than they appear to be. Have you ever really tried having confidence in the Spirit? Have you ever experimented with your own mind to see if you could come to a place where you really believe there is good enough to go around? It is as though the prophet were telling us that even the divine bounty itself, lavish and extravagant as it is, must be, waits our acceptance. Possibly we have been holding our bowl out of acceptance and our chalice of life upside down, so that even the fruit and the wine of spirit cannot be poured into it. And yet the windows of heaven must forever be open. Today, I open the windows of my own soul, that the windows of heaven may pour into my experience a blessing greater than I am able to receive. Nor would I withhold this blessing from others, for as surely as it comes to me, just so surely shall it go forth, multiplied and increased, to heal and to help, to bless and enrich, and gladden others. Today, my faith, my hope, my expectancy, look up and out, and behold, a limitless abundance present everywhere, flowing through all things, a limitless love giving of itself to everything, an infinite peace enveloping all, and behind it all, and around it, and through it, a joy forever singing a song of happiness and fulfillment. This is my day. This is my heaven. This is my life. This is my God. In him I will put my trust. Okay. Okay. So I learned something interesting last night. The 365 Science of Mind was not actually written and compiled by Ernest Holmes. Uh, it there was a 3-book deal done, and 3 people got together, or not, took 1 book each, um, and they are collections, curated collections of Ernest Holmes writings, and the 365 Science of Mind is one of them. Love and Law was collected by Marilyn Leo, and then The Essential Ernest Holmes was collected by Reverend Jesse Jennings. Now, the 365, I only mention that, one, because it's point of interest, and two, because I believe it was in the 365 where I got that phrase that I like to use every day: open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you you do live in heaven right here, right now. That was from Ernest. And so he's mentioning it again today. And I like that he also mentioned that our bowl of acceptance and our chalice of life is sometimes it's upside down. It's like there's good happening all around us, all the time. But sometimes we're so caught up in our own mess that we don't see it. Or sometimes we're caught up in other people's messes. Uh, and that's the hazard. The wonderful thing about humanity is that we live in community. We live in relationship. The hazard of that is we live in community and we live in relationship. So we rub up against each other. Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why one of the cornerstones of our teaching is what we want for ourselves, we want for everybody. Nobody's left out of the grace. Nobody is left out of the grace. So it is it's pretty cool to think about opening the windows of the heaven. Oh, I can hear the weather started. I think that the weather that's happening right now is what triggered the migraine. I know most of my triggers, and unfortunately the weather is the one I can't control. So that's one of the, there's 2 things in here. One, it's about practicing the gratitude, or as Emma likes to say, to look for the good and praise it. That's how we see the abundance. Because when we are practicing gratitude, when we are looking for the good and praising it, then we are actively looking for the good. We are stretching beyond our mess, and out and looking at, what is good in the world. And it's super important that we do that right now, that we look for the good. And then the other thing is he's early in it, he talked about, have you ever experimented with your own mind to see if you could come to that place? That's the point of spiritual practice. And there's a wide variety of spiritual practices. Um, Meditating, chanting, reading sacred literature, listening to other people read sacred literature, going and listening to all of the various, COVID, it was a huge mess, but one of the things that it did was it drove all of our centers online. So you can now, you have access to so many of the teachers that are really amazing. And you can access them, like, because we do ours on Facebook Live, you can access, and we have a YouTube channel, you can access ours anytime. You can access it at 3:00 in the morning if you want to. So there's that really cool aspect. And so you have all of these opportunities of spiritual practice that help you practice what he's talking about, experimenting with our own mind, coming to that place. That, you know, we can do it. So we look for the good, we praise it, and so that goes back to our title. I am enriched by the abundance of God. Well, I'm only enriched by the abundance of God if I see it, if I acknowledge it, if I'm aware of it. Well, how do I get there? Spiritual practice. Spiritual practice. I got to turn that cup, that bowl of acceptance, and that chalice of life right side up and see it. Okay, so let's work our way back through it. So I'm not sure how much longer I got. So I am enriched by the abundance of God. Now, you take Malachi. It's Malachi 3:10. Go read the chapter. Prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open you the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it. And what Ernest says is exactly that. That is God challenging us, saying, I can pour you out a blessing that is beyond what you can possibly accept. I can. What does it take to get God to do that? Willing. We have to be willing to accept it. Because God is always pouring out that blessing, but we are not always willing to accept it. So, and that's what Ernest says. What a promise this is, as though the divine were issuing a challenge to the human and saying, perhaps things are better than they appear to be. Have you ever really tried having confidence in the Spirit? I mean, and that's one of the reasons why when we do treatments or prayers or affirmative prayers, we state in the now. We don't beg, we don't plead, we don't do any of that, because we have confidence in the Spirit. We have confidence in that which made us. Have you ever experimented with your own mind to see if you could come to a place where you really believe there is good enough to go around? That is the question, which I suspect that'll be the mission today. It is as though the prophet were telling us that even the divine bounty itself, lavish and extravagant as it must be, waits our acceptance. That's why we have to ask for it. When we ask for it, we signal our willingness to receive. We signal our willingness to accept. Yes, God knows what you need. God is ready to provide what you need right here, right now. Are you willing to receive it? Okay. Possibly we have been holding our bowl of acceptance and our chalice of life upside down, so that even the fruit and wine of Spirit cannot be poured into it. It's all around us all the time. We are unaware of it. Yet the windows of heaven must forever be open, because we can't close the windows. We can pull the curtain, but we can't close the windows. Today, I open the windows of my own soul, that the windows of heaven may pour into my experience a blessing greater than I am able to receive. Now, you want a statement? There you go. That is a power statement. Nor would I withhold this blessing from others, for as surely as it comes to me, just so surely shall it go forth, multiplied and increased, to heal, to help, to bless and enrich, to gladden others. What I want for myself, I want for everyone. There's good enough to go around. Today, my faith, my hope, my expectancy, look up and out and behold a limitless abundance present everywhere. It's springtime. You want to see abundance? Go look around at springtime. Okay, it's springtime here. Flowing through all things, a limitless love, giving of itself to everything, an infinite peace enveloping all. And behind it all, and around it, and through it, a joy forever singing a song of happiness and fulfillment. This is my day. This is my heaven. This is my life. This is my God. In God, I will put my trust. All right. So, like I said, I think that the mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to experiment with our own mind, to get to a place where we can see that good all around us. And how do we do that? Spiritual practice. And I'm going to suggest my favorite spiritual practice right here, right now, to do something loving for yourself, to do something kind for yourself, to do something compassionate for yourself, whatever that looks like. I will tell you, because sometimes what it looks like is when you have a really awful migraine, you call your boss and you say, I'm miserable. And due to the weather, you're not going to need me, so I'm not coming in. Um, Actually, he gave me the choice. And I was like, I'm miserable right now. It's going to be quiet because it's pouring for the first couple of hours. You don't need me. I'm not coming. And right now I'm really grateful because the pain is spreading. So I'm going to end this um, soon. But that's it. That's loving, kind, compassionate. I am taking care of myself. I'm also being loving, kind, and compassionate to my coworkers because they don't have to put up with me miserable. So, yeah. Sometimes the loving, kind, compassionate thing that you do benefits other people. Frequently it does. The 3 deep breaths that you take can benefit other people. The nap. Like, go turn yourself off and turn yourself on again. It helps. It resets. So, it is a habit. It is a default setting. It is a first response. That's why we practice it every day. And it does expand our bowl of acceptance because we see the good. Okay. I encourage you to do something loving for yourself. Do something. Wait, no, hang on. Do something to engage your mind and your body. Fortunately for me, I was in the aura phase during the workout, so I got through that. And then I'm losing my train of thought. I just need to stop. Okay, so do something to engage your mind and your body. Go get that bright light to reset you in the morning. Drink plenty of water and open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you do live in heaven right here, right now. It's all around us all the time. Well, look for the good and praise it. Have a great day, an amazing day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanting day, a staying dry day, or go dance in the rain day. Whatever makes you happy. A good day. If that's too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough, just as you are. You are a beloved child of God in whom God is well pleased, always and forever. All right, I know that my voice is starting to drop because, yeah, it's okay. I got through it though, and hopefully it made some sense. Catch us on the social medias. You know where we are. Reverend David should be on with you around 5 p.m. I will be back with you at 9 a.m. Take care of yourself. Know that you're loved. And I will see you next time.